Morning, Floss tube. Bam, stitching between the lines. Today is Monday, March, I think 16th? Yes, I haven't had to think of the date, which is kind of funny, because Friday was Friday the 13th, but whatever. When you're busy, you don't think of these things. Anyway, I'm making maybe the last video I'm going to make from this house, which again is empty and echoey. For sure in 2 weeks we'll be there. We'll see if we end up moving this weekend. I don't even need to mention why things might change, right? You know, the whole social distancing thing and all of that. We were staying here through the week after next or this week and next week, because next week I'm going to a quilt getaway. It's twice a year. I go, not every time, but it's only about a mile away from here down on the lake, and it is at like a Christian retreat center, a summer camp that they use for these kinds of activities in the off season, and it hasn't been canceled yet. It's a small group. There's usually less than 20 of us. So I really don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do, except notice my sticky up hair. Things can change a lot in a week. My husband, of course, still has to go to work. He's got a company to keep people employed in. And so we'll see if it ends up looking like we're not going or it's canceled. We'll probably push through and move this weekend, rather than stay in a, basically empty house. Our family room furniture is staying here, so we can use that room for the most part. But we're sleeping on a mattress and a box springs on the floor in our bedroom, a bed that's not coming with us. Ultimately, we have fewer bedrooms than we have in this house, and you can't really donate a bed anywhere. So anyway, we're good at that kind of roughing it kind of thing, so that's not really stressing me out or anything. It's mostly just I'd like to just get there and have no issues with any. There's a lot of moving parts in a move like this. We have buyers coming here, they have buyers going into their house, all the things. So if we can have vacated this house and it be empty for a couple weeks, maybe giving them confidence that nobody who is sick has been in here. Oh dear, I'm gonna have to pause. I'm back. I don't know if that was a pause that, I think it's a starting of a whole new video. One of my kids. My girls are teachers here in New York or in our area. I don't know if it's statewide or not, are off of school, no longer teaching until mid-April at the soonest, which is after their spring break. So 3 weeks of not teaching and then a week of spring break. I don't believe there's any obligation or expectation that anybody does any kind of online teaching, is my understanding. Possibly my one daughter, there was talk about preparing, worksheets and things, but it could only be review. It can't be new material. So I'm not really sure what happens there. So some schools are having a conference day today, and then the kids go in for half a day tomorrow to pick up things, clean out. I don't know if they're cleaning out their lockers so that the schools can be cleaned. I don't really know. In my county specific, there is one known case, in the county that we live outside of, the one with the city, I think there's 10 known cases. In the county where my girls teach, there's none at this point. So it's precautionary. There's nobody that we know personally or ourselves that has come in contact with anybody. But of course, we're doing all the safety measures. My husband, like I said, has to go to work though, and deal with whatever's there. Trying to keep everybody there working. As much as they can work and want to work, and because they have the child care issues and all that, so people want to keep working. They do a lot of work in schools, so that could be an issue. Anyway, enough of that. We're doing, like I said, doing what we're supposed to. Had grocery shopping fun last week. We'd been letting the cupboards kind of run bare because I didn't really want to move groceries. I can make do with a lot of, I can make do. If there's those basic things in the refrigerator, I can make do, make meals out of a lot of, not a lot of anything. I can create a dinner or supper, whatever. But you can't really make do with cat food, for example. So there needed to be a stop at the grocery store when I was out last week. And I managed to, you know, I didn't go crazy. I don't think I need to. So anyway, I did that. Don't think I have to do that again anytime soon. What else? What else? So we can get this all out of the way and not talk about it anymore. Oh, I'm going to the library this afternoon. Our library's open this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon, and then they're closed for a month. So I need to go stock up on books because a lot of books are in boxes at the other house. Not that I'm not running back and forth to there, but I really don't want to be forced to buy books with limited availability, like at the grocery store or Walmart. So I will go. I will get some books and use their internet. That's the other reason why there's a video this morning. So it'll be fine. It's good. I have no risk factors. I have no known contact with anybody. I don't have a compromised immune system. I don't have a cold. I haven't had a cold in a very long time. We try to do all the things. And so I would very much appreciate nobody sharing their own personal paranoias with me. I don't need it. I watch the news. I know the things. Anyway, so let's get down to business. This, you know, it's funny in this moving process where there's a lot of work to do and then there's not a lot of work to do. There's very little in my house, so there's very little of anything to clean or dust or do anything with. Yes, there's a lot of things to put away in the other house, but also some of the like main furniture pieces aren't there, or I don't want to unpack. For example, the kitchen, for example. I have things there that I don't need here, but the necessary things that are still here, I want to place in cupboards first before I start putting the unnecessary things away. So those are sort of cluttering up the way. And I've been doing, we just have area rugs. Well, we have some area rugs. There's some carpeted rooms there that we've either had the carpet replaced or cleaned. But our area rugs that we're taking, I am taking there and doing a dry cleaning process on. So I can do it there before the cats are there. And so, you know, got 2 out of 4 of those are there. 1, 2, yep, 2 out of 4. So anyway, I got to keep like the dining room empty so we can spread out the rugs as we bring them in and do that whole thing too. So it's all very like logical. This is like a logical person's like, it's, you know, it's like if you like to approach things very logically, there's a lot of logic to apply to this whole thing because there's a lot of things to do. But anyway, it's almost over. We're almost there. What did we do? We spent the whole week, you know, always we're spending the weekends there. Anyway, I don't want to do that anymore. So there's a mix between, like I said, lots of time where I'm not doing anything. My sewing room is all packed up, so I can't sew on anything, so I get a lot of stitching done. That's where that whole thing was going, a lot of stitching. But first, before I do that, because I don't want to forget, I have the stamps that I offered up in the last video. I did neglect to give any kind of timeline, but it's been, what, 3 weeks, I think? So certainly if anybody wanted the stamps, they have spoken up. So 2 people did. I put their names on a piece of paper, even Steven paper. And I don't know who I'm going to draw. Okay, so Rose Heck, I will comment on your comment. And you said in your, let me just show you the stamps again, because there's not a lot of variety. There's 10 of these same stamps across and down, so 6 up there and 4 down here, and then there's the fancy one. So if you are inclined in any way to want only like the fancy one plus some of these and are willing to let these go, I will cut them apart or whatever. So if you're in any way, you know, not feeling like you need 10 of these same stamps. I'm not a stamp collector. I don't know. I know when it comes to cross stitch, the more the merrier. I don't know if it's the same is true for stamps, or if what you really like is that there's the cancellation stamp on it. then, you know, I can cut off this part and send the other person this stuff. So be sure to let me know. I'll put that in your, in my reply to your comment, and we can share addresses, and I will get those mailed out. I don't want to be worried about where they are. So anyway, okay, so we did that. Okay, yesterday I got my regular email from My Bobbin, and you know, they every week there's some designer whose patterns are 1% off. So I was going look, because you never know. There are a lot of designer names I'm unfamiliar with, so I usually scroll through to see what's on sale. Well, you know, we're working hard at the other house, and so sometimes you just need a break. So I don't know. I don't know. This is insane. I have to live till I'm like 150 now. I decided to scroll through and look at all the kits that were in stock, because you can filter in ways that you'd like. All the kits, not just the designer on sale. And I spent, I don't even know how long. I would look through like 10 pages, and then I go back to work, and then 10 more pages, and then, you know. So by the time I was in bed last night, I had several new kits favorited. I did not order. It doesn't mean I won't. Yesterday, we're trying to clear, my sewing room is in what will be a large den, and we will use part of the den as our evening TV watching, not really like meant for if we have people there to, like, whatever, kids, whoever company there to sit down and watch TV together. So we were trying to clear an area where some chairs will go, some recliners. And I picked up a bin. I'm like, what's in here? Oh my God. You can guess what was in there. More cross stitch. And I thought, ooh, what the heck? I thought I found it all and unpacked it all, but no, I didn't. So anyway, I have the need for nothing, but there were some cool things. I mean, these are just designs on their website that we are unfamiliar with. So, and I think it's free shipping if you spend over $50. Honest to God. Listen to the justification. Just listen to it. So let's get down to the nitty gritty of what I've managed to stitch, because I have so much, I don't want to say so much time. I am driven. I think that's what it comes down to finish some of these whips so that I have more things to start in Mania, and in some cases just not carry things through. So Liberty Lane, I spent a week on each of these things I'm going to show you. So a week on Liberty Lane, and it was an intense week. I was done. Well, I actually needed a week and a little part of the following Monday or whatever. But Liberty Lane is done. Called for colors, I don't know about the fabric. I don't know. Somewhere I know what it is. Not in that package, so sorry. It's nothing spectacular. Probably a 32 count. Don't know. So it's done. I have the pillow that it goes on, and I have the buttons. I think all my, you make like you're gonna make a pillow with some fusible. Pretty sure it's fusible. I've done this before, but it's been a while. Turn it, and then its corners are all nicely, you know, finished, and then you put the buttons on, and I think you glue it down to the pillow. I don't know. I'll read some instructions. Like I said, I've done it before, and I've never been in fear of anything falling apart. So, so Liberty Lane, done and done. And then I gave a week, and I actually think I needed a tiny bit of the following Monday to finish Yes, Virginia. As you know, I've talked about this. I bought this when I went to Country Sampler in Wisconsin with Barb and Leanne, and we all three bought it, and it's with a conversion that was created by Country Sampler, so I really can't share that with you. And it's done on the Weeks gingham linen, the red check. I'll pick up my picture or my stitching and show it to you in half a second. Remembering bygone stitches is there's an explanation on the back about it, about how Stitching Pretty has released stitching patterns that the original designer of Bygone Stitches either designed or had in the works. It's a little bit, tiny bit unclear if this was ever released as a pattern. I have not found any evidence of it being released in any other way other than bygone stitches. Remembering bygone stitches, excuse me. So I really don't know. If you're looking for it, they tell you to visit the website of stitchingpretty.com. And let me see if I can get that close. It's this website right here, www.stitchingpretty.com. And see, somebody mentioned that they wanted the pattern and couldn't find it anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really tell you. Or it was only in a kit, which that might be from Country Sampler. And they thought maybe they could do it themselves in a way they wanted. Oops, the window shows through. So there it is in the colors that Country Sampler converted it to. I will say, they told us how many skeins of each floss. Like, I think it was 5 of this one, and we needed a 6th, I believe it was. And then how many skeins for the letters, and I only broke into the second one. I didn't even finish the second one, so I got a couple extra skeins of that color, so I'm not really sure. I will say, though, that at Country Sampler, the shop owner was still working on hers, so she was forecasting what it was going to need. So I finished that. I had a hard time in the month of February sitting down and working on it, just feeling kind of blue about the whole Leanne thing because she finished hers and I was working on mine, and I'd had to consult her a couple times about the page break is really poorly done on this pattern. It was the page break, and there was something, oh, the center. Oh, look at this. There's a little mark on the pattern that the best I could ascertain it was the center. But can you see like how off center that is? I think she did some counting. I did some trusting the pattern and guesstimating. Love the picture. Didn't love the pattern, so I don't really know what to say. Except I'm thinking, let me just say this, and I would rarely say this. If you're brand new to stitching, don't jump right into this one. If you're not feeling real confident, this is more of a, it's more of, I'm going to have to say, a very confident intermediate stitcher. A lot of negative space is, it's sort of, it may give you confidence. Well, that might be a big picture, but there's not a lot of stitching. There is a lot. I mean, you really have to have faith that in that page break, you have been exact and that you can get that matched up. And mine, I came down and then I came down, and it did match. My page break matched correctly, and I did match exactly. I've been stitching a long time, though, so... which is, a confidence that's going to probably bite. The fact that I said that out loud is probably going to hurt me in the end here. But anyway, there it is. And the other thing that I have been working on like crazy, and each of these, like I said, I've been giving a week, is I've been working on my Crazy Annie stitching ornaments from 2019, which Lori, you and I, we're going to do a stitch along, and usually I am the one that falls apart in these and doesn't finish anything, but apparently this time I have been like an obsessed maniac, and I have been finishing them all. When I traveled in February, this is all I took with me, was 1 or 2 of these, plus some of the fabrics so that I could do finish up some borders. So I went into this month with 3 completed borders, and the actual ornaments only take like an evening. So I finished this one, and I finished this one. This one was a free bonus that came in I gotta look at the number, in the 8th month package. So I pulled this one out to do first. I thought, well, I'll do the one with the most stitching in it first. And I pulled it out of the package, and this was in there, and the buttons are in there for both. Well, I like that a whole heck of a lot better. And I only have 12 pieces of this fabric. And I didn't go this far along this line to backtrack now. I wouldn't do it on the red polka dot. Learn from me, don't do it. So I had 3 borders done. I only needed to stitch 1 border, and I filled in 4 ornaments. So there's another one. And then I have since managed. Last night I finished up a border heading into next month's installment. So that's like ornament number 9 out of 12. So I didn't expect, but maybe, knock on wood, I will have these done and not part of my Mania whip carry forward thing. So here's another one. Cute, right? There's one of the other ones that I haven't done yet. I don't know where it is. It's here. I mean, it's here in the bag. It's a lot to keep track of all these pieces and parts and threads and whatevers. That also had a free ornament, second pattern idea. And I'm going to do that one, and it's, I will find it. This is the ornament, and 25, yes, Christmas is December 25th, but the 25 doesn't do anything for me. I don't know where it is. Let's see. I might have shuffled it around somewhere. Pretty sure it's in the 25 one that I'm not doing. So I don't know where that one is. I have the skate left to do. I have the snowman. He's got like negative space the year 2019. I'm not sure what I'm doing about that. These 2 are done. And I have hot cocoa to do. And I do not know where the little freebie is that went with number 25, unless it's only a pattern and not a picture. It could also be out in my little wheelie cart thing that I keep next to my stitching chair downstairs. So I am rolling right along. I do have a lot of borders to do in April. So maybe I'm not really going to finish all 4 of them in April, but I'm trying. So that's all I've done since the last video, because I'm trying just to focus on getting some of these done, and each of them seems to be taking about a week. All these ornaments would take more than a week, but after a week, I'm done. I'm tired of them. It's time to move on. So here's the I'm not really into showing you what I purchased. I mean, sometimes I do because it's kind of interesting or whatever, but in general, I don't. But I have not really purchased a single thing since Christmas time. And even when Market came, there were things I saw that, yeah, I'll eventually get that. You know, the Brenda Gervais pieces, they'll be around for a while. There was no Market exclusives that really kind of captured my eye. I feel like maybe there weren't very many or any or whatever. So anyway, I was all good. I was doing really well, except, well, I'm going to say this. At the end of December, I bought Picture This Plus's 2019 Christmas bundle, which is 4 colors. I've had them out of here. And then I purchased one more, and I don't remember if this one was the additional one I purchased or this one. But that yellow, oh my gosh, that yellow is beautiful. So it was not coming and not coming and not coming and not coming. I was getting a little worried because if we move, was I going to call the store? Were they going to get a new address on a package? I don't know. I just wasn't sure what to have faith in working out. I need to switch you. I feel like I'm crooked. I'm pretty sure I am crooked. Hopefully that's not been that way. The big ceiling up there, though. What's a crooked line? Anyway, so that showed up the other day, but it was kind of funny because it showed up along with everything else. So I not only can say the wheels came off the bus, my bus was an 18-wheeler, and the wheels exploded after they came off. Just a lot of it was just circumstances and the way it worked out. So let's go with the most innocent purchase of all. This I had never seen. I meant to look this detail up and I forgot. Okay, bright needles, right? We're familiar with bright needles, bright needle. The Bright Needle ladies, one of them lives locally, and she is a partner in a yarn store in a not that far away town. And she also used to work in my LNS, like filled it. My LNS has just the owner works in it, and so she used to fill in like on Mondays when the owner took the day off. And I took a workshop in that LNS taught by the Bright Needles ladies, and I used to visit with them and whatnot. And I forget, see, this is what I forget. I forget the exacts of it, that they either both used to live locally or they both used to live in Virginia and one of them moved here, or if they both lived locally, one of them moved there. I don't remember the whole story. And then, of course, the designer that lived in Virginia had passed away years ago. So there's no new releases or anything. And interestingly enough, I had never seen the Finger Lakes sampler, and I live in the Finger Lakes. But then Abby Bellistich showed it as one of her March Madness starts, and I thought, oh dear, so I absolutely had to go find that because I live in the Finger Lakes, right? And I'm moving to a house on the lake, so I thought, I need that. I plan to, when I do the alphabet, to stop at the letter starts the name of the lake and stitch out the word that's our lake. And so what I will probably shift out of there is the year or something, and just, shift the letters somehow, some way. It's a sampler. I can make it work. But very nicely, the Bright Needles ladies give us all the numbers. So if, you're doing, putting the year in like they did, unlike some other designers who shall remain nameless, who use sort of a funky font, don't give you the numbers, except for what they've stitched on their pattern. And then, so that was it. That's the only thing I ordered from eBay. I had to get that from eBay. Very reasonable price, not anything. And then I was on, I don't usually scroll through Stash Unload. I just have to see which thing caught my eye the most. I don't know. But somebody's listing caught my eye, because, that's what happens. And if I'm going to buy one thing, I'm going to scroll through and see what else. So I honestly do not remember which item was the one that was the most prominent. But this lady is in my 1, 2, 3 wish list. And it was being sold with the silks. So there's that. And if you're ordering one thing, you might as well order a couple others. So I have loved the Sarah G patterns forever, ever since the day they started coming out. And the Christmas windows, this one is Christmas window 2. I hope I don't have this. I hope I don't have it, because it's exactly the kind of thing I would have bought. I might have another one of the Christmas windows. I might have none of them. I don't know. I am holding off on looking in that box that has those files. And then, this is like it was meant to be, assuming I don't already have this. It comes with the little buttons. When Pam and Steph went on their trip to Holland and went to shops, and Pam showed a pattern she bought at a shop, and I had to go to that shop's website and look at the patterns by that same designer. Or I had already been to that, or I had stopped the video earlier and went to the shop and spied this exact designer's patterns, and then Pam showed hers. Either way, it's very possible. And I can't even, I'm not even going to try to say it. You just look and see who that designer is. And I fell in love with a bunch of, there were several patterns that were this sort of like night skyline of a, like of a country, snowy, and there it was on Stash Unload. I'm pretty sure it was there for me. I'm pretty sure it was there for me, because all 3 of these. So that's what I got from there. And that would have kept me busy for a good year, right? Don't you think? It's probably a year's worth. Well, then, what happened next? What happened next was my sister had the opportunity to go to market with her local shop owner, because the person who was going to go backed out. And so a couple days before she was going to go, she said, you want anything? I said, yeah. So I understand how the whole process works and that, things might be sold out or you might be, she had responsibilities to her shop owner. So she couldn't just say, excuse me, I need to go next door and wait in line for half an hour because my sister wants something. So I gave her a list that included like all the things I knew I wanted and would get eventually, plus like this secondary tier of things that I liked because I realized that it would be hard. And so I wanted variety. I wanted to give her variety. Okay, wasn't that nice of me? So she managed to get me all my second tier things, which I very much appreciate. I am not saying any of this in a bad way, not even. It just means that I then had to go buy my first tier, sort of, right? Because that's how it works. So one of the things I chose was this Chris Kindle Market by Pickle Barrel Designs. Now, I went to, my husband and I a couple years ago went on a riverboat cruise and went to Germany and Austria for the sole purpose of visiting the Chris Kindle markets. There's local here in the next little city over. They do a Chris Kindle market every year, and it's a really neat thing. There's German food. It's just kind of a fun, neat thing. So I got this. I got the header. I think it's 6 patterns plus the header. So this is the header, and this is the first pattern. It really is what it's like in the Christmas markets. There's these little booths that look just like this, and each of them sells something that's made within the country. So this one is selling like glass ornaments. So I really like this. I really have to say, I don't have anything against gnomes or whatever, but these really aren't my style. So something different will have to go there, whether it's a different Santa or I don't know. Who makes these buttons? Somebody knows, and I'm betting it'll be on here. I think these, if it's the right size, a couple Santa buttons. Wouldn't they be cute? So that's what's floating around in my brain there for that. I also wanted all the new thread releases because now patterns will start. Whoops, I'm showing you. Well, this is a free design, free pattern if you buy the 3 new threads, which are Chesapeake. This is Classic Colorworks. Chesapeake Bay, Mariner's Compass, and Lighthouse. And when you buy them, you get the pattern, which I don't know if I'll stitch it or not, or maybe I would stitch one of them. I don't know. Once these new threads are out, all of a sudden they start being in designs, so I opted for that. If anybody's been watching me for any amount of time, you know my feelings about Open Road Abode and my love, absolute love for it. We don't live that far from the Adirondacks. 3-hour drive. You can be camping in the Adirondacks and love it. I absolutely love it. I love to go there. We've done different things. We've rented a house. We've rented a cottage. We've taken our camper. All manner of visitings in the Adirondacks, and this just really reminds me of being there. So I wanted that. And let's see. Hello from Liz Matthews. I didn't know this, but somebody told me it's on Floss too. I think that Liz Matthews is whose daughter? Kathy Barrick's daughter, maybe. I loved this. I love the subtle colors. I loved it. So that, and then again, like I said, looking for like a splurgy thing that I wouldn't normally buy. Is the what's it called? The hibiscus mandala. Still haven't started. I know already. Lori Yu is saying, what the heck, why aren't you working on ornaments all around? I do not know. I have some kind of mental block about that one, and for some reason I can't make myself start it. I pulled it out once and I didn't have the thread that I would need to start it, and now I have bought thread, organized thread, have fabric. I don't know. There's no reason. It's one of those, what is it? Who says it? who's Saltbox Stitcher. She says if I had to go in front of a judge and he had to say, tell me why you haven't done this, she'd be like, I don't know. That would be what it is. Week's new threads, Arrowhead. Where's my camera? Where's some light? Arrowhead. It's funny, a lot of these are very neutral, all the new threads. Wow. Banana pudding. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, banana pudding. I don't even think that's as yellow in real life as it's sort of looking on here, or whatever. Another kind of yellow, Yukon Gold. Lily Pad, which looks brown but is kind of really a green. And blue suede. Oh, that's a good color. All these colors right here now on this camera are not working out for us. I don't even think that helps. Just go with it. And from Simply Shaker, Glass Slipper, and the Witching Hour. How fun is that? Glass Slipper is like a light blue. Oh, here's another Weeks floating around. Lavender Rose. So anyway. So then, because this, hello, I had to place an order and get this and the thread pack. I pulled out some fabric down in my new house and brought it back here, and I don't even know where that is. I had a piece of gray, because this is done on a gray from a design, or from a thread dye, yeah, fabric dyer I'd never even heard of. Parisian gray from Access Commodities. So I don't need to go buy anything. I pulled out a couple. I pulled out a gray, but the other one I pulled out was something like, you know, a vintage country, whatever, that's antique-y looking, like brown. And I thought that would really, like, wouldn't that what the inside of the store might look like? So I wanted to get the thread and make sure that was going to work. And then, of course, the tier 1 ones that I really would have bought at some point: Spring Serenade, Saltbox Quilt Sampler, because, you know, quilts, Harrietta and Company, because I have the little boy in his little plaid whatevers. And then this one I forgot to add to the list altogether. I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted that. Erica Michaels, isn't that cute? Super cute. Super cute. I haven't ever done a strawberry. I know they're not hard, so I thought that would be kind of fun. So there, it's like an explosion in this house. So anyway, I don't know. I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm not doing it because I'm stressed over anything, because I'm not. It's just like opportunity. That's it. Opportunity knocked. What can I say? I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to the library in a little while. It doesn't open till noon. I'm starting to pack my kitchen. I baked a batch of cookies this morning because I thought, well, why don't I use up a few little things before I have to pack them and move them? But also it gave me a chance to like kind of dig through the baking cupboard, and I had 2 bottles of vanilla extract of cinnamon, ground cinnamon, so I could, you know, combine those into one, and just some things like that. You know. So anyway, I keep telling my kids and anybody else who cares to hear it from me that this whole, you know, social distancing pandemic thing, see, look how it circled right smack back around to that. It's history. We're like living through history. It's the kind of history that will be talked about for years and years. Was there an overreaction? Did it prove to be an underreaction, or just the right thing that needed to be done to get this virus stopped, seeing as none of us seem to have any immunity to it? I'm not afraid of it, but I'm not going out being a fool either. At some point, I suspect we will have to absolutely stay home. Plus there'll be nowhere to go. So, I mean, everything's closed. Our church is closed, canceled services. The organization I volunteer with, that's closed, because of course we're prepping food and serving people, and we're volunteers, and you know, we do the best we can do, but still, you maybe are contagious when you don't even know. So safety is always your best measure. I will, I'm sure, have to go to the grocery store a time or two. Our grocery store does not deliver way out here. We could, in theory, I think, order online and go pick it up if we had to. But I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. Like I said, it's hard to make do with cat food, for example. We might do a quick run through Walmart at some point and really stock up on that kind of stuff, and then, take our chances with whatever else. So we'll be fine. It's interesting time, exciting time, strange time, different. My husband is thinking if he has to work from home, how will that work? I say he's not working from home because he's the boss, and if the whole building is empty, then he can be in the building. I said he could take one. I have sliding screen doors on my sewing room, 2 of them that I bought somewhere. They were from like a woodworker, was having a sale of his going out of business. He was like an antique guy and a woodworker, and he had made them to go inside his house to limit where their dog could go. Well, I needed them bad to limit where one of my cats can go. So for years I've had these sliding screen doors on my sewing room. And I said he could have one of those. He could put it on his office, and then anybody who wanted to talk to him could stand outside that screen door. I don't know what it's going to come to. We'll have to see. My son has to work at home for a couple weeks, mandatory there. He's in a state that closed schools before ours did, and his county has the highest number of any county in the state, so he needs to be staying home. And my girls are home. So hope y'all are at home watching Floss Tube and stitching like maniacs. Somebody posted on Facebook something about this is what we've been training for. It is true. It's true. Especially those of us who just really like to have a lot of time ahead of us free to stitch. It is absolutely what we've been training for. So we can do it. We can get ourselves through this. I just have to keep packing my house and shuffling the stuff down to the new house, which is doable. So have a good one. By the time you see this, I'll have been to the library and have it, because I'll go there, like I said, and use their internet. And hope everybody's safe and sound, and we'll see you soon.